What you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Hey, I'm Amy Chang. I'm a nationally board certified health and wellness coach, and this is Healthy AF. In this podcast, I'll be bringing you all things health, from the newest health strategies to how to tackle those personal roadblocks that just will not let you move forward. So buckle in. We're going to be inspired and instructed, and dadgum, we're going to have a little fun on Healthy AF. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Healthy AF. I'm Amy Chang. I'm a health coach here at Healthy Life Health and Wellness Coaching, and I'm delighted to have your ears and maybe even your eyes with me today. In preparing for this podcast, I did what I frequently do. I had a kid here, my boy, and fed him some breakfast, and he's going to paint a room for me because he's sweet like that. And I said, Max, what do you think is the hardest thing about health? And he said, choosing it. And I was like, wow, very profound. And that just explained my whole job. Choosing it. Actually choosing your health. Now, when I think of choosing health, I think of the very common barriers of I choose convenience over health. I chose convenience the other day over health when I stopped for a Bojangles on my drive instead of taking the time to pack a snack and some solid hydration for my trip to Hickory and back. And so there are so many things that we can choose instead of our health. We can choose convenience. We can choose cash. You know, sometimes it's a cheaper menu item to get something that's more processed than to go for the fish. We can choose other people's happiness. The kids don't want me to go to the gym right now. It's an inconvenience for them. I don't want to take the kids to the gym because they don't want to sit there or go to childcare. So I'm just going to blow it off this time. I'll go another time. Full disclosure, I actually do that when my grand dog is home. When my grand dog comes over for me to babysit, we call it Camp Meemaw. When Finley comes over to Camp Meemaw and I have to crate him to be able to go leave the house, usually it's for that afternoon bike ride that does me such good mental reset. It helps me sort of wind down from my work day. It's just all good things happen when I'm on my bike, taking a bike ride. And I'll skip it simply because I do not want to look at his sweet little eyes as I put him in the crate. Crazy, right? I choose to please my grand dog over choosing to have that bike ride. So when we look at choices, like they can be little kind of easy choices, like, I'm going to choose to go on a walk today. I have an extra 5 minutes. That's kind of an easy choice, especially if the weather is nice. It's a beautiful fall day outside and we want to be outside. Easy choice to choose health. Or it could be a really hard choice. Like, I want to go to the gym, but you have to pay for that. And I'm not sure that is in my budget. That's a bigger choice. Or my spouse at home is not supportive of me cooking in a different way. That's a harder choice. One thing that I've seen happen in coaching, and I've been doing this now for 5 years. And it was one of the very first things that was shared with me from a client when I asked her, what has coaching been like for you? And two words came up pretty consistently. It's been easy and it's been effortless. And I was pretty shocked, to be honest, because, you don't come to a health coach and lay out the cash and lay out the energy and lay out the time that it takes to do health coaching without being in a pain point. So for a person who started in a pain point to then finish 3 to 6 months later and tell me, yeah, it was easy and effortless. This was just intriguing to me. How did that happen? And over 5 years, I'm getting it. It's choice. The special thing about choice is empowering. When we are in choice, we are empowered. It feels good. It feels easy. We're just choosing. When people begin in coaching, typically they're not in choice. They're in some other kind of place where they can't see their possibilities. All they can see are their barriers. And when all you see are your barriers, you're more likely going to convince yourself that you actually don't have a choice, that it's a little helpless. You feel a little helpless. There's a little hopeless in there. It can't be done. It's too hard. Requires too much. No choice. And that's a really painful place to be. Yeah. So when we work together, what I see in people who commit to coaching is that first month we start digging into what they're thinking, where the barriers are, what they really want. And we begin to dial back into some actions finally after we get very clear on where it is they want to go and why they want to go there. And it takes a lot of effort at first to choose and to have the choice for that healthy new behavior. I'll give you an example. When we first create actions, they are likely very small and they require a massive amount of energy to complete. Massive. We plan them to the nth degree. This is a brand new thing for people. Sometimes people have been doing a little bit of healthy stuff, or maybe they had this healthy habit in the past, but it's long gone now, and they're kind of trying to revive it. We look at very, very, very tiny little actions. And we look at a lot of planning and a lot of energy. Fast forward to when they complete their coaching, and all of a sudden, these activities, these new habits that took so much energy and required so much diving into choice, now come as spontaneous choices. And new ones come as spontaneous choices. And we see that when we turn around and look backwards at where we were and then where we are now. It's really an amazing thing to watch. And I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I love my job. I have a fabulous job. I get to be with people when they turn around and look at like where they were and then go like, wow, I can't believe I'm here. So just this week, I had a conversation with a client, and we were reviewing. We're in about month 5. And so we're really reviewing and really focusing in on, okay, we've got just a few weeks left. Where is it you want to go? What have you already created as a win? What win is on the horizon? Where do we need to tweak? What goals did we set that actually we don't want to do those anymore? And it's fine. We need to move on. And they shared with me that spontaneously over the last couple of weeks, they decided to go on a run. And actually their knee was sort of swollen. We were talking about that. And I got real curious. How did you decide just to go for a run when you haven't run in years? And they said, gosh, I don't know. I just thought it would be fun. And I reminded them that when they came in, when we did our consultation, the thing that they shared with me as their primary reason for coming in for a consultation for a health coach is that they were completely sedentary and couldn't find the motivation to do anything. And 5 months later, they're randomly motivated to effortlessly, I'm just going to go for a run. That's the power of that mindset. And that power comes in through choice. Now, I want to expand on this just a little bit. When we look at choice and we look at the power in choice and we look at like how some health choices are easier, like when I gave up alcohol, easy choice for me. I didn't drink that much. I was beginning to drink a little bit more than I was comfortable with. And when I got my genetic test back and they said, hey, you've got the double Alzheimer's gene, probably you shouldn't have any alcohol at all. Okay, done deal for me. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Not a hard choice. Some choices are harder. And then there's addiction. If you are in an active addiction, probably going to need something a little stronger than just relying on choice, especially at the beginning. The low-hanging fruit, easy choice. The tougher ones, much harder choice. You know, when I gave up sugar, and I was very clearly addicted to sugar. My whole life, my mom has said to me, like, hey, why can't you just have one muffin? And I have said to her, like, I don't know, but it just doesn't work like that for me. She can have literally bags of Oreos in her house, and I'll go back 3 weeks later and they're still there. I don't know how she could do that. For me, it was just not that way. I had battled the sugar addiction for a really long time. Most of, I'd say, my adult life when I realized I was having a sugar addiction. I'd take out the sugar and substitute in bread. Just say, Amy, you can have as much bread as you want to, which typically I didn't eat a whole lot of. Just get off the sugar. And, 6 weeks later, I'd be clean from sugar, maybe 8 weeks. And then I'd start taking off the bread. And then I'd, make it whatever, 12 weeks. And then a birthday would come up. Or I'd get stressed. Or a holiday. And or somebody made something for me. Ooh, that's a toughie. When, your aunt makes a cake for you to say, thank you, no, thank you. And I'd have just one bite. And then 2 days later, it was like, well, a piece won't hurt me. I mean, I don't ever eat it anymore. Must not, Well, you know how that story goes. I've told it several times on this podcast. It didn't take long, maybe 3 days, before I was going to the Harris Teeter and buying the 6-pack of the big chocolate chip cookies, and they didn't last 24 hours. I was stuck, struggling, to choose not having sugar. And for that, I really did end up actually using 12 steps to help me get rid of sugar. If you're not familiar with 12 steps, Google it. 12-step recovery programs. They're fantastic. And when you look at the 12 steps, from a perspective of just straight up behavioral change, priceless. Those 12 steps are priceless. I'm not sure they can be beat when you look at behavioral change. So for me, giving up sugar required not only choice, but surrender. I didn't have to surrender to alcohol when I gave it up, but I sure enough had to surrender to sugar and my powerlessness over the cookies and the cakes and the Butterfingers. And Lord help me, somebody brought Krispy Kreme donuts into church last night and I could smell them. And I'm like, girl, you better turn around, go back over there to your seat. Oh, it was really funny. It's funny. And it's been almost 2 years for me that I've had a cookie, a cake, a candy, a hot and now donut, any of those things, maple syrup, honey. It's been almost a couple years, but it took more than just choice. So when we talk about healthful choices that you might want to make that have addictive qualities, tobacco, alcohol, any of your illicit drugs, caffeine. Caffeine's one I've been really for the last few years like, I don't know. Do I want to give up caffeine? Yes. Is it the right time? I'm not sure yet. Right? Any of those things, the habits that have addictive qualities, I want to just say right now, if you're addicted to a substance, a caffeine, an alcohol, a nicotine, whatever it is, a person, probably going to need a little extra help. And I would suggest that you not spend decades in the cycle of, I can give it up for a little while, but then I go back, and when I go back hard, and then it gets out of control, and then I give it up for a little while, and then I go back hard, and then it's out of control, and it's in control of me, and I feel bad about myself, and I wonder why I can't do this, and everybody else can do this, and what's wrong with me? Why am I choosing to do this? That's such a painful, painful place to be. And I've even been there with caffeine, especially when the children were young. I loved my coffee, and I loved it so much that I'd have palpitations at night and think, well, I just need to dial back a little bit. There are times that we're going to choose that thing, and it's kind of beyond us, and we need some help around it. So give yourself some grace when you realize that pattern of, I can go without, and then I have a little. And once I have a little, I have a lot. And then once I have a lot, I lose control, and it's actually in control of me, and I don't want to give it up, but I know I need to give it up, and I'm having the spiral. If you recognize that pattern, go get help. It's okay. It's a different beast. So that's what I have for you today on this podcast. The idea of choice. Choosing your health and creating those habits, creating the mindset shift so that those habits become easy and flow. Actually, I have one more thing for you because I have it on my sticky note and I don't want to step over it. I think it's a great example. When we work on our mindset and when those healthy habits become just something we do because we think it's going to be fun, or we just feel like doing it, like going for a run randomly, it almost feels like the motivation that I had when the children were young. I want you to just imagine this with me. Your sweet kid is sitting on the couch watching Sesame Street, or maybe they're asleep in the stroller. And that undesirable urge to reach out and touch their hair. You don't think about it. You don't put a lot of effort into that choice. In fact, you might have to have more effort not to touch them. It just is effortless and easy, and it feels right. That is where we want to go with our health choices. And you can do that, and the work is between your ears. And let me know if you need help. I'm right here. First conversation is for free. Now that's all I have for y'all today. I hope you give yourself some grace. I hope you love on people today, and I hope you choose you. See you next time on Healthy AF. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Healthy AF podcast. I hope that it has helped you create a new possibility for your health and sets you into action to go get it. If you want more information, or if you want to connect with me, visit my website at myhealthylife.coach. And don't forget
to hit the subscribe button so that each new Healthy AF episode will be sent directly to you. Let's take you from where you are to where you want to go.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.